In this section, I'm going to show you how to perform some basic edits that are associated with audio signals. There are three things that I'll demonstrate. The first is called a signal splice. This is when we take one signal and we separate out into two or more different new signals. You can think of it like back in the day of working with analog tape. Whenever you want to make an edit to that tape, you'd physically have to make a cut or a splice to the tape to separate out the different parts of the signal. The second thing I'll show you is how to take two or more signals and consolidate them together to create one signal. The third thing I'll show you is how to perform what's called a time reversal of our signal. When we're working with digital information, we have samples that occur in a sequence from first until last. One thing we can do is play back the samples in the opposite order. That will perform a time reversal. In general, it's important to understand that these basic edits are performed in computer code by doing nothing more than indexing our signal or our array in interesting ways. What I'll show you first is how conceptually these edits are done inside of a digital audio workstation. Then I'll switch over and show you one by one how you can write the computer code to perform each one of these edits. Here I have a sound file loaded up in my digital audio workstation. I'm going to be using Pro Tools to demonstrate the concepts of these basic edits before we shift over and implement them ourselves in computer code. This is a recording of an acoustic guitar. It sounds like this. Here, we're visualizing the signal's waveform. This is amplitude versus time. The units of time that we're using are in samples. We can see them up here at the top. Let me show you now how to perform the signal splice. This is when we want to edit and separate the signal into multiple parts. As an example, let's say I was interested in separating the signal right before this note over here is played. If I click with the cursor, I can even zoom in and figure out the exact sample that I would like to edit. Up here at the top, I can watch for the sample number and zoom in and find the part where I would like to make the edit. This is perfectly fine. So I'll zoom back out, see where this is happening. I can go up here to the top and click on Edit and say Separate Clip at Selection. What this will do is place an edit or a splice at this point in our signal. Now we actually have two separate signals that we can treat independently. I can take this, place it at a different point in time. I can shift this one around as well. If I wanted to, I could even delete one or other of these signals. So now I just have the ability to work with them independently. The next thing I'll show you is how we can consolidate the signals together. This is when we start out and we have two or more signals that we want to put together. What I'm going to do here is, let's say I have this signal and this one, and I want to put them together. In fact, what I'll do is even insert some silence in between them. So what I'll do is highlight both of these clips, go up here and click on Consolidate Clip. See that I put them all together. Now this is one signal where I've inserted a little bit of silence at this point. Let me listen to this one back. As another example, let's say I wanted to put them back together without having the silence in there. What I'm going to do here is actually switch over to a different mode just so I can ensure that they're lined up together with each other. So what I'll have to do here is put these side by side, click these together. All right. Last thing I'll do, click Consolidate. See that I have put them all back together. We no longer have this edit. It's just one single signal now. So this is how we can consolidate multiple signals together. The last thing I'll show you then is how to perform a time reversal. So time reversal is where we take the signal and the samples, we reverse their order. We play them backwards or in the opposite order. This can be done in Pro Tools by using an audio suite processor. Up here under Other, then I can find Reverse. Now when I process the signal, the notes will be played backwards. So those are 3 basic edits that we can perform inside of our digital audio workstation. Next up, we're going to look at how do we actually implement these ourselves in computer code.